Naghahanap ka ba ng something na pwede mo pang idagdag sa stream mo? Or maybe you just want to upgrade your stream. Maybe this video will be able to help you. So I'm going to teach you an effect that you can apply in your OBS. Something like this. Oh, Evelyn for the 5,000 stars, baby! Let's go, baby! If you like that effect and gusto mo siyang in-incorporate sa stream mo, maybe if someone sent you a star or if there's a new follower or there's a new sub, then you can use that effect. And if you want to learn how to do that, it's very easy. There are just four things that you're gonna need for this effect to work. Well, of course, you need OBS, and then the first plugin that you're gonna use. Oh, by the way, yes, we will be using plugins on this effect. So this is not gonna work in Streamlabs OBS. So this is only gonna work in OBS Studio. So first ang kailangan natin is ang shader filter plugin. We also need WebSocket or OBS WebSocket plugin. That's the two plugin that you're gonna need. And yung dalawang program pa na kailangan mo is the HID macros, and the last program is, we call it Noobs Commander. Credits to the owner of this program, or the one who created it. It's Nutty. You can check his channel. He's also a YouTuber who creates tutorials about OBS. He's a great guy. Check out his channel. I'll leave the link below. And all of the links to the plugins and programs that you need, ilalagay ko na rin sa description below. And wait, bago ka mataranta dyan or ma-intimidate sa dami ng plugin or programs na kailangan mo install, sobrang dali lang niya. I'll leave all the link below. Download it if you still don't know how to add plugins to OBS mo. There's a lot of videos out there that can teach you how. Just watch them first, and if you know or if you have installed those plugins and programs correctly, then go back here. Let's do the effect now. Alright, so we're here at our OBS. I've created a scene here. It's a test scene. If you notice, I created here. Nilagyan ko lang siya ng simple image file. This is like a screenshot of my stream. This is how it looks. And this is where we are going to apply the effect. First thing we need to do is, on the scene itself, oh, by the way, this effect is gonna apply to the entire scene. Hindi siya sa isang source lang. So definitely, kung saan mo man siya i-apply or gamitin na scene mo, let's say sa intermission or kung anumang scenes meron ka dyan, it will apply to the whole scene. So, ang ibig sabihin nun is kapag lumipat ka ng scene, let's say from test, nagpunta ka sa main cam mo or sa ending scene mo, hindi mag-a-apply yung effect. You have to copy the effect or the filters doon sa isang scene para gumana siya. So how are you gonna do it? First is right click on the scene kung saan mo siya gustong i-apply. For me, it's test. And then click on filters. And the first effect, oh, by the way, tanggalin muna natin siya kasi nalagay ko na. So the first filter that we're gonna add here is the user defined shader. Yun yung dinownload natin. So from this point, you will see different options. Ang gagawin mo lang dyan is to click on load shader text file. So click mo yan. It's gonna black out your display. Click on browse. And then look for the rainbow shader. So rainbow. There. So look for the rainbow shader. Open. And mapapansin mo, nandun na siya sa background. So in order for it to apply doon sa iyong scene, you're gonna have to scroll down and click on apply to image. If you're gonna apply that, if you notice, yung buong scene mo has the effect of the rainbow shader. So for now, we're gonna disable the filter. Oy, hindi dyan. So here, filter. Then let's disable it for now. After that, we're gonna add another filter. It's still a user-defined shader. Oh, by the way, para hindi tayo malito mamaya, pangalan natin to. This one, I'll call this rainbow. And the other one, I'll call this one zoom blur. Okay, so for the second filter, Again, we'll click on load shader text file, browse, and look for the zoom shader or zoom blur shader. This one, pinaka last siya. Okay, let's open that one. So on this shader, there are some settings that we need to set. You can copy mine, but you can play around these numbers. Ang kailangan lang natin palatan dito is yung samples, yung magnitude, and the speed percent. So for samples, for me, I'll set it to 20. For magnitude, I'll set it to, let's say, 10. And for the speed percent, I'll set it to, well, speed percent, it will depend kasi we're gonna add sounds later, so it will depend on the sounds that you'll be using. So for me, 1400 works well. It will depend on your sound. Magnitude, if you notice, parang sobrang effect, so I'm gonna decrease this to probably 3. Okay, so that works, or maybe 2. Yan. So I guess 2 is okay. So it will depend na rin. You can play around with these numbers depende kung ano sa tingin nyo. You can click on glitch, depende. There are a lot of settings here that you can play around. Depende na sa taste mo kung ano yung gusto mong mangyari sa effect. But for me, this one is gonna work for now. So let's turn it off. Now, ang problema dito is, alam nga naman pumunta ka dun sa mga filters na yon every time you're gonna initiate this effect, diba? Hindi naman pwedeng, uy, teka lang, may star, enable ko muna yung effect ko, chu, blah, blah, blah. That's why we installed HID macros and the noobs commander. This is where it's gonna come into play. Okay, so if you have installed noobs commander and the WebSocket correctly, this what should show in your screen. So the status here should be connected. That means the noobs commander nagko-communicate siya sa OBS mo, meaning every script or every command that you're gonna put here will apply to your OBS. So since dalawang filter or dalawang filter na gusto nating i-activate when we hit the hotkey later, let's add 2 filters. Okay, so filter, click on 2 filters. It's gonna add 2 commands here. Now, show filter, because we want the filter to turn on, or we want it to show. Kailangan nating mag-enable yung filter. So that's why we're gonna use or choose show filter for this one. Source is kung saan natin in-apply. In my case, sa test, diba? I applied it sa test. And same thing on the other one. Let's put test. And then dito naman, so with the name filter, kung ano yung filter na gusto mong enable. Since dalawa yon, the rainbow and the blur, we're gonna choose rainbow, and sa baba, we're gonna choose zoom blur. Okay, so when we click test command, if you'll notice, well, the moment I hit this one, it's gonna trigger the effect. Sige, I'm gonna show it to you. If you see, nag-trigger yung dalawang effect natin. But for now, I'm gonna have to turn it off manually kasi yan lang yung program na sinet natin. Mag-trigger lang, hindi siya mag-close. Now, I forgot to add one more thing pala. I'm gonna add the audio here. So, let's put here first my sound effect. Let's call this party. It depends sa'yo kung ano yung gusto mong ilagay dyan. So, ang akin, party, and then I'm gonna look for that audio file. Stream Essentials, okay. Alright, so if you notice guys, nilagay ko na dito yung audio file. So, kailangan din natin siyang i-trigger. When we trigger the filters, dapat mati-trigger din yung sound file. So, back to Noobs Commander, what we're gonna do here is we'll have to choose the media control. Instead of play, we're gonna have to choose restart, because that's how we trigger the audio file in OBS. We have to click on restart. So let's choose restart instead of play. Let's turn off first the filter. Okay, so back to Noobs Commander. Let's try it again. Test command. If you notice, there we go. There is our effect. So may sound din siya. Meron ng effect, nag-turn on yung filter. But the problem is, hindi siya huminto, diba? Kasi wala tayong trigger turn off. So that means we need to add another program doon sa Noobs Commander natin para matapos yung or ma-turn off yung effect after nung music. Now, since yung music is 8 seconds, we have to set up a delay para may 8-second delay bago siya mag-turn off. So in this point or at this point, we're gonna have to click on delay. So we're gonna add a delay program here. Since yung sound ko is it's gonna run up to 8 seconds, I'm gonna set this to 8,000 milliseconds. That means after 8 seconds, maglagay na naman tayo ng another program for the filter to turn off. Since dalawa yung filter natin and yung audio naman natin is automatically naman siya nag-i-stop, ang ito-turn off lang natin is yung filter. So we're gonna add 2 again of the filter. This time, instead of show, we're gonna change this to hide. That means papatayin natin yung dalawang filter na yon after ng music. So again, let's choose test kasi doon naka-apply yung ating effect or yung filter. And then again, choose the filters. Again, rainbow and zoom blur. Now, kompleto na tong program natin. Once we test once we try to test the command, it's gonna turn on the filters, gonna play the music, and then after 8 seconds, automatically na siya mag-turn off. So this is a very good effect. If for example, you'll get a new follower, you get a like or maybe a star sender, you can use this effect, you know, just to hypen up kung sino man yung mga nanonood sa'yo, and then make sure or make them feel that you appreciate their kind gestures. Now, alangan na mag-click tayo ng click dito sa test command, diba? We don't want to do that because it's really hassle. Gusto natin isang click lang. So that's why we're gonna use HID macros. So ano gagawin natin dito sa programs ito? We're gonna export this. It's once we export these files or these commands, Noobs Commander will create a file, a bat file, wherein i-click mo lang yon, matitrigger tong command. So this is how it looks like. So when you click on export, just rename it kung anong effect, let's say stars effect. Okay, and then save it kung saan mo gusto. For now, let's save it sa desktop. Okay, so how we're gonna trigger that? Now, we're gonna set up a hotkey kung saan pindot ka lang ng key sa keyboard mo, and then it's gonna run that file. Okay? Okay, so yung in-export natin kanina sa Noobs Commander, we'll create 2 files. One is a VB script file, and the other one is a Windows bat file. So, itong bat file, you can just simply delete this kasi hindi mo naman siya kailangan. Ang kailangan natin is yung stars effect na VBS script. Yan yung command natin. Now, we're gonna have to find a way to trigger this using HID macro. So, let's open HID macros. Okay. So, you may encounter an error when you first run HID macro. So, what you're gonna do is just run it as administrator and everything should work. Okay, so when you first pull up HID macros, this is what you're gonna see. And first thing you need to do here is to click on new, and then you name it whatever you want. For me, I'm gonna name it stars, and then you click on scan. This is gonna be the trigger. At this point, you're gonna have to choose a key kung ano yung gusto mong pindutin in order for you to trigger the effect. So for me, it's gonna be number 1 at this point. Let's just use that for now. And after that, you're gonna have to click on run application, and then click these 3 dots here and look for that file na ginawa natin, which is yung VB script. So for me, nasa desktop ko siya sinave. Ito siya, stars effect. Let's use that one. Then it should work from this point. If you hit number 1, it should run the effect. By the way, once you're done with this, you cannot close HID macros, because if you close this, hindi siya gagana. Kailangan nakabukas lang yung HID macro mo. So you just simply have to minimize that. Anyway, it's gonna go to your tray. Hindi naman siya sa taskbar, so it's not gonna be a problem. Let's try it. I'm back here in OBS, and I'll hit number 1. Oh, same click. So that is gonna be our effect for today. There's a lot of things that you can use it for. So marami kang pwedeng paggamitan ito. Like what I mentioned earlier, pwede yan kapag kami nag-send ng star, pwede kapag may bago ang follower, or simply kung may nag-share, or kung trip mo, trip mo lang siya pindutin, ano? Every time you wanna hype up, you can use this effect. And using those methods that we learned today, HID macros, noobs commanders, there's a lot of things that we can use. We can be creative to do a lot of effects in order for us to upgrade our stream. In this generation of streamers ngayon kasi you have to do something different in order for us to stand out. Hindi naman pwedeng grind lang tayo ng grind, stream lang tayo ng stream. And I hope this would help you and also me to grow followers and to eventually have a career in streaming, diba? So, if you like this video, if you like this effect, if you think this would help you, I would appreciate if you can subscribe and share this and put a thumbs up. You can also follow me in my I also stream in Facebook, so you can follow me at Kamada Boy Gaming. All the links below, and I'll see you on the next video.